Howdy folks, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to win a Stripe chargeback now, or a credit card chargeback. So in this video I'm going to show you what is a chargeback, okay? How do you prevent a chargeback and how to actually win a chargeback every single time. Okay, I've done it. Okay, if you sold something to a client, and you sent them the product, you did your service, and sometimes clients might just, file a chargeback even though they received the service. Okay, in that case, I strongly recommend following these guidelines so you can actually win that chargeback. Now, before we start, let's go and talk about what exactly is a chargeback. Now, a chargeback is pretty much whenever a customer, client calls their bank and says, hey, Satish sold me this product, but this product is not working, or I didn't get my product, okay? Things like that, okay? Now, whenever that happens, they usually go ahead and do a chargeback whenever the customer actually get their money back, and then we get in the amount debited from our credit card processing, merchant, for example, Stripe or authorize.net or PayPal. And then on top of that, we have to pay the fees as well. Now, so that's what a chargeback is. Now, how do you prevent a chargeback? I'll tell you an easy way, okay? Most customers file a chargeback because, legitimate, orders, right? Not like, scammers, okay? People who actually bought your product and they want access, or they didn't, they don't want to, they don't want to screw you over. They file chargeback because of the number one reason is that communication, okay? So on your website, okay, wherever you sell the product, make sure you make it easy for the customer to contact you. For example, okay, let's say I sold something to the customer, right? And then customer might have an issue with the product, right? But if they can't reach out to my support or to me, then, they're going to call their bank. But if they contact me, what you can do is solve that problem by either replacing the product, okay? Telling them, or actually giving them a refund if that's what's due, right? Or, fixing the root cause and showing them, hey, the product is fine. So the biggest reason people get chargebacks is because they forgot to put a contact link, or they don't tell their customer, okay? If you have any problems, please contact us at, help@abcd.com. So put those on your transaction email. That really helps as well. Now, let's get back to the topic. Now, if you do get hit with a chargeback, how do you win that chargeback? I'm going to show you two ways, okay? Now, the first one is kind of, dumb if you want to call, but the idea is to contact the client, okay? Let's say, I got a chargeback for, $5,000. I'm going to contact the client and say, hey, what happened? What's wrong? And many times what happens is that, okay, maybe there was a miscommunication. Maybe there was some sort of gap. Maybe who didn't fix something. Maybe there was a problem, right? In that case, yeah, we'll go ahead and fix it up, and they'll go ahead and call their bank and cancel the, chargeback. Now, you want that happening because here's the thing, okay? If you have a lot of chargebacks coming up, what's going to happen is Stripe, authorize.net, they might actually either close your account, or they might even hold your money. Most likely what's going to happen is if you have 3% chargeback, they're going to go ahead and shut down your account and actually hold your money for 60 days, 90 days, depends on, the situation. But you don't want that happening, because whenever there's a chargeback, enough of them, it could actually block your cash flow. So you don't want that happening. So it's super important that you prevent these chargebacks, okay? And the first way to, solve a chargeback is pretty much call the client and say, or email the client and say, hey, Bob, what happened? You filed a chargeback. I was not expecting that. How can I fix it? Now, when you say that, couple of things, okay? Now, if a refund is actually due, just tell them, hey, go ahead and cancel the chargeback. I'll go ahead and refund it to you because it's going to hurt my reputation if you do that. And a lot of the customers, they are more than willing to help, and they are more than willing to do that. And if that's the case, take care of it. Now, more than likely, you can solve the issue on the phone or the email. Say, hey, here's what the problem is, and I want to fix it for you. Now, once you fix the problem, hey, they'll go ahead and cancel the chargeback. Now, The method number two, this is the one that, if you have to use it, go ahead and use it. Now, so here's the deal, okay? So whenever you get a dispute, this is what you guys been waiting for. So hear me out, okay? Write it down, take notes, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to reveal to you how can you convince the bank that, hey, I want to win the chargeback. Now, so whenever you see a chargeback, on your dashboard on Stripe, you get an option to respond back to that chargeback. Now, when responding to the chargeback, you have to make sure a couple of things. Okay, a lot of people just write a message saying, hey, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter, okay? When a bank officer looks at that, report, right? There are people in banks, right? Their job is to pretty much decide, hey, is this a legit, chargeback or is it fake, okay? More than likely, they're gonna, do it on the favor of their customer, but they're following a set of rules, but you can win the chargeback too. Now, how do you do that? So what I want you to do is create a Word document, okay? On that Word document, go ahead and put customers' full information, okay? IP address, okay? Now, if the customer bought a physical product, make sure to put tracking IDs. Now, if they bought digital item, go ahead and list out their IP address. When did they download the product, okay? And the biggest thing is this, okay? Was there a communication? For example, let me give you an example right here. So a lot of agencies, they run ads, right, on Facebook, Instagram, and so on, and they're charging people 5 to 10K a month, okay? And then you get a chargeback, right? I'm like, okay, that was not digital, that was not physical, it was a service, right? So how can you win those kind of transaction? The communication chain. So the communication that you had with the client, okay, when they said they were happy, you know what I'm talking about, right? So whenever that customer said, hey, I'm happy with the product, I'm happy with the service, but 30 days later, they're broke or something and they file a chargeback. I know that happens a lot of times, right? Customers, they buy things, right? And then they're happy with your product, they're happy with your service, but a month later or 2 months later, they can't pay their rent. And what do they do? They can't pay their credit card bill, right? And what do? They go out there and actually file a chargeback on us, okay? So here's the secret sauce of winning any chargeback: the communication record. So if you had a communication with them through a mobile phone, take a screenshot. If it's through an email chain, have that, okay? Include all of that on that Word document and export it as one PDF. The idea is this, okay? So whenever the bank officer opens up that proof, okay, it's gonna have the customer information, right? It's also going to have their email address, IP address, and the proof, okay? And you have to tell them the proof, okay? You have to tell them, hey, this is the IP address that they downloaded the file with. There you go. Or if it's a service, most of the time vendors getting screwed is whenever they sold a service, okay? So let's say you ran an ad, you built a website, things like that. That's when you get screwed, okay? But what you can do is pretty much the communication that you had with the client, right? So usually what I do is whenever we're selling something like service, right, I ask my clients, hey, are you happy with the service? And they say no, I get to fix it. If they say they're happy and they're good to go, then hey, not only are they happy, not only did I seek their feedback, that's also a proof, okay? That's also a proof that, hey, they were happy with the transaction, okay? What you can also do on top of that to make sure that they don't do these funny things is this, okay? So I do a couple of things. So number one, if the amount is over $10,000, I do a ACH, like a bank wire, usually, right? Or if they have to pay with a credit card, what I do is I actually go ahead and send them a receipt through the mail with FedEx or UPS and actually put a tracking ID. So I have that communication proof. I also have a tracking ID. So on my side, I'm strong, okay? Even if there is a chargeback, what I can do is I can show those proofs to the bank and actually win that transaction. Does that make sense? So the biggest thing is sending the bank one PDF, okay? Name of the customer, how did they receive their product, okay? And show them that, hey, the customer was happy, okay? They can't just, say they're happy and then just turn around and say, hey, it doesn't work after like 30, 40 days, okay? That's not how it should be. So if you do those things, I am more than sure that you're going to win that transaction. Okay, so I want to wish you all the best that, if you actually sold a product, and you actually provided value to a customer, you deserve that money. And then, go ahead and do these things so you can win that transaction. So you could use this tactic to win Stripe transaction, chargebacks, credit card, or authorize. They're all the same thing. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next video. Hey, and guess what? Okay, if you check out my channel, there's so many videos on marketing, sales, making money. I think you'll really enjoy it. So please subscribe and help me out. I'll see you on the next video.